One question lingers like a shadow over the shocking seizure of Venezuela's president. If U.S. forces truly penetrated sovereign airspace, why did nothing happen? No radar warnings, no scrambling jets, no resistance of any kind. Now, a chilling theory is circulating online, suggesting the operation was completed without a single shot fired. Unconfirmed and deeply unsettling, it hints not at a battle lost, but at doors quietly opened and a silence that may have been planned. In the hours after Nicolás Maduro was taken into U.S. custody, one detail stood out. There were no images of air defenses firing, no reports of Venezuelan forces engaging American aircraft. For a country long warning of invasion, the silence was striking. Now, a controversial theory is spreading across alternative media platforms. First published by Russia's Sputnik, it raises a provocative possibility that Maduro was not seized in a battlefield raid, but in a carefully staged deception. According to Igor Lidoskoy of the Hugo Chavez Latin American Cultural Center, the operation may have unfolded under the cover of diplomacy. The claim? A U.S. delegation arrived at Maduro's residence purportedly to discuss a peace deal. The theory alleges armed guards accompanied the delegation. Once inside, they allegedly turned their weapons on Maduro's security detail. Maduro was then captured without airstrikes, without resistance. No independent evidence supports this account. Supporters of the theory argue it explains key gaps: why Venezuelan air defenses never fired, why no military clash was reported, and how U.S. forces exited so quickly. What is confirmed, Maduro is now in U.S. custody. What is not confirmed, how exactly he was seized. No official timeline has been released by Washington or Caracas. Both sides remain tight-lipped. For now, the Trojan horse theory remains just that, a theory, unproven, unconfirmed, but widely discussed. Until clear evidence emerges, the truth behind Maduro's capture remains one of the biggest unanswered questions of this crisis. In a stunning scene unfolding in New York, the man who once ruled Venezuela with an iron grip has arrived on American soil in chains. Ousted Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife Cilia Flores were escorted earlier today from the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn to a New York courthouse, where Maduro is expected to appear before a judge later today. Their journey was tightly controlled, part motorcade, part helicopter, with armed Drug Enforcement Administration agents surrounding the pair at every step. Video shows both Maduro and Flores wearing tan detention uniforms, a sharp contrast to the power and luxury they once commanded. Their arrival follows a dramatic middle-of-the-night U.S. military and law enforcement operation over the weekend that ended with their capture and removal from Venezuela. According to reports, at least 32 Cuban officers were killed after being called in to assist Caracas during the operation. It remains unclear whether Maduro or Flores have retained legal counsel ahead of their arraignments. Maduro has long denied all allegations against him, calling them politically motivated. U.S. prosecutors, however, paint a sweeping picture. Maduro and Flores are among 6 defendants named in a 4-count superseding indictment, accusing them of conspiring with violent drug traffickers for more than 25 years. The indictment also names Maduro's son, two high-ranking Venezuelan officials, and an alleged leader of the notorious Tren de Aragua criminal gang. President Donald Trump confirmed the operation on Saturday, saying the United States had successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela, capturing Maduro and Flores and flying them out of the country. Trump said the mission was conducted alongside U.S. law enforcement, with elite military units, reportedly including Delta Force, providing support. But Trump's next move has ignited global controversy. Despite campaigning on America First, Trump announced the U.S. would effectively run Venezuela for an unspecified period of time. He said a team of U.S. officials, along with local partners, would manage the country, citing a power vacuum. "We'll run it properly. We'll run it professionally," Trump said, promising massive investment by global oil companies and claiming Venezuelans would be the ultimate beneficiaries. In Caracas, Vice President Delcy Rodriguez was swiftly sworn in as interim leader. She condemned Maduro's capture as a kidnapping, demanded his return, and vowed to defend Venezuela. Yet by Sunday, her tone appeared to soften, calling for cooperation with Washington under international law. Trump now says the United States is in charge and that talks with Venezuela's new leadership will happen at the right time. As Maduro prepares to face U.S. justice, the future of Venezuela and America's role in it hangs in the balance.
The government of the United States launched an unprecedented military aggression against the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. This constitutes a terrible stain on the development of bilateral relations. During that military operation, President Nicolás Maduro and the First Lady, First Fighter Cilia Flores, were captured. We had already issued a clear warning that an aggression was indeed underway, based on entirely false excuses and under completely false pretexts, and that unequivocally the masks had truly fallen. And it had only one objective, which was regime change in Venezuela, and that this regime change would also allow for the capture of our energy resources, our mineral resources, our natural resources. That there, the real objective, and the world and the international community must know this, is exactly that. We have convened this National Defense Council, in which the public powers of the Venezuelan state are participating. We are joined by the President of the Legislative Power of Venezuela, Dr. Jorge Rodriguez, the President of the Judicial Power, Dr. Carilia Beatriz, and the President of the Moral Power, Attorney General Tarek William Saab, are also with us. In addition, the Minister of Defense, the Chief of the SEO, the Vice President for Citizen Security, the Council of Vice Presidents, and the Foreign Minister of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, as well as special guests, are present, whom we have convened for this National Defense Council. From here, we demand the immediate release of President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Silvia Flores, the only president of Venezuela, President Nicolás Maduro. We are determined to achieve freedom. Here stands the highest command of the Venezuelan state: the military high command, the state high command, the high command of the Council of Vice Presidents. All the political forces of the national power in Venezuela are united, but also out in the streets of Venezuela. There is a people who have mobilized in response to a call that the President of the Republic had already made, and which he had warned about. If anything were to happen to President Nicolás Maduro, the people should take to the streets mobilized, the body of militants at their workplaces mobilized, the Bolivarian National Armed Forces mobilized and deployed throughout the national territory, citizen security agencies mobilized, all the national power of Venezuela mobilized, nor from decaying empires. As a matter of coherence, we have the sacred duty to safeguard things like our national independence, our sovereignty, and our territorial integrity, which was savagely attacked in the early hours of today. The international community has joined in and raised its voice in support of Venezuela. From China, Russia, Latin America, the Caribbean, Africa, Asia, governments around the world are simply shocked that it is the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, a victim and target of an attack of this nature, which undoubtedly has Zionist overtones. It is truly very shameful. And the Venezuelan people, with their sacred fire of the homeland, aroused, is outraged by what is the illegal and illegitimate kidnapping of the President and the First Lady, first combatant, Sylvia Flores. All of Venezuela is mobilized, and the decree that has already been signed by President Maduro, the only president of Venezuela. There is only one president in this country, and his name is Nicolás Maduro, period. With the decree written, we are proceeding in this National Defense Council to deliver it to the President of the Supreme Court of Justice for its proper constitutional backing in the Constitutional Chamber. What they did to Venezuela today, they can do to anyone. That brutal use of force to twist the will of the people can be done to any country. Today they did it to the people of Bolivar. And you can be certain that the Venezuelan people, who are wise, who are patient, who have strategic patience, will know how to find the path to defend peace, to defend tranquility, and to defend the homeland. Thank you very much to all Venezuelans and to the entire community.